This podcast is part of the Soul Zone Network.
Hello, and welcome to the Butterfly Connection.
Connecting your soul to source with Molly Rahe-Randall and Sara Courtney.
We are all connected, and we are not alone. What if you could rebirth your soul, gain movement in your life, and reconnect with your authentic self?
Join us each week as we connect with Source to answer the burning questions that lie deep within us and gain clarity and wisdom to soar to our greatest potential.
It's time to fly. BK20. Dream big to be big. Hello, everyone. This is Sara, flying solo today at the Butterfly Connection. I hope you are having a wonderful week. It was quite interesting. The other day, I woke up in the morning and it was like someone had downloaded information into my mind, and I just kept hearing the same sentence over and over and over again. And that was, if you dream big, you will be big. And I just kind of sat in that for a moment and I thought, this is what I need to talk to you today about. So what I love to touch on is why it's important for us to dream big for our spiritual growth, and how dreaming big can help you to manifest what you want. And also how dreaming big can help you to learn to set an intention with belief rather than hope. So I'm sure all of you are sitting there going, oh, okay, dreaming. Well, what is dreaming big really? What does that mean? It's those kind of far off goals, right? Those far off ideas that you might have had growing up or have now as an adult. Those things that you pretty much think that are just going to be out of reach. Dreaming big is in fact within your reach. It is in fact something that you can attain. Dreaming big means knowing that you have abundance. Dreaming big is believing that one thing that you've always thought that you would love to do can happen against all odds, and that you actually have the power within yourself to manifest anything that you would like to have, and all you have to do is make up your mind and do it. Now, I will be honest with you. As I wrote this information down from the other day, I was like, wow, dreaming big isn't something that I ever really believed in myself, because I just always said, okay, come on, Sara, be practical. You're never going to be a famous jazz singer, so let's just accept that fact. Or, yeah, you would really love to make $1 million, but that's probably not something that, can really happen. But in all of my spiritual growth and everything that I have learned over the past few years as I have evolved and started to hear messages, the one thing that has surprised me is that I've started to believe that any dream that I have can come true. Now, it's a little bit of a far-off concept, I'm sure. You're thinking, yeah, right. So if I just think that it can come true, it's just going to magically drop in my lap. Well, no, not exactly. There is a process to everything that we do. But the most amazing power that we have, as I said before, is manifestation. If you set your mind to something, you can do it. I mean, think about a skill that you have right now. Think about what you do for a living. You had to learn that skill. You had to be trained in that skill. You didn't walk into your job one day and just kind of magically know what to do. But you did have an idea in your mind that that was what it was that you wanted to do. Otherwise, you wouldn't be in the career or the job that you're in. So let's take this a step further then. Let's give an example of a dream that we might have. Let's say we want to be a famous comedian, for example. And so you sit down every day and you imagine yourself as though that being a comedian has already happened. You are already there. And then all of a sudden, once you have set that intention for a while, then you go out into the community and you find a place to do that. And you begin to believe in yourself. And you begin to see and envision this goal coming to fruition. And then you start meeting people and you start connecting with people and you start getting more and more people showing up and so on and so forth. Until after you've gone through this process of imagining every single day that this is going to happen, and you've gone out and you've gone through the process and you've done the work and you've believed in yourself and you've had faith in the process, one day you get a phone call and you're asked to come to some big comic event. Now, I just use this as an example because oftentimes, what's the biggest reason why we don't dream big? Think about this right now. For myself, I don't dream big because I don't want to be disappointed when it doesn't happen. I don't dream big because I really don't or haven't in the past believed in myself enough to say I can make that happen. But Spirit is here to tell you that you have the belief, you have the power to shift your mindset. Because if you dream big, you will be big. And what I think Spirit means by that is if you dream big, your light will become big. Your essence, your soul, your true self will grow out of you. And all of that fear and all of that doubt and all of that, oh, I don't think this is ever going to happen. I'm not that good, or whatever excuse we tell ourselves just starts to melt away. And if we want something bad enough, we get it, right? We really, really want that motorcycle. We'll save every single penny for that if we are able. If we want to learn how to become a runner, if we truly want something, we can make it happen. It's just a matter of shifting your mind. It's shifting your perspective. And then the next thing is once you set your intention and you set your mind to what it is that you would like to do, then you can go to your spiritual team. You can go to Source. You can go to your angels and guides, whatever it is you feel is above you. And you can say, hey, I could use a little help. I could use a little guidance. Because we are not alone. We have the support system of our friends and family, or we can have the support system of our friends and family, but we can also have the support system of our source, our connection to God, our connection to our angels and guides. And once we ask them to help guide us, that is when things start happening even more amazingly. I remember one time when I was asking for guidance as to finding a spiritual mentor. And I was brought to this website and I was brought to this person's name and I clicked on it and I met with that person and it was an amazing experience. I had no idea what website, how I found that website, how I picked out her name, but I just did. So many of these synchronicities that we experience in our life that we can just call coincidences, I personally don't even believe that it is a coincidence. It's Spirit's way of guiding us down our path so that we can begin to believe and to have faith that things can happen for us. We are also the makers of our mind, our heart, and our soul. We aren't just here to go through the motions. We are here on this earth to grow and to learn. And part of that growth process and part of that learning process is learning how to be our truest selves, learning how to step outside of our comfort zone and try something different, try something new. And the other thing I want to point out too is when you do these intention setting things and if you're ready to feel like you can come out of your comfort zone, just remember that there are always going to be challenges along the way, that things aren't always going to come easy, and they're not always going to look exactly the way we want them to. Have you ever laid out a perfect, beautiful vacation plan? And you've had like an itinerary written out, and you have planned out every meal, and then you get there and nothing goes the way that you had planned it, right? And you're like, oh my goodness, how in the world am I going to make it through this vacation? Nothing's going the way I want it. When in fact, the blessing in that was the fact that everything didn't go the way you wanted it, but so many amazing things happened instead. So oftentimes, in order to dream big, we also have to relinquish control of how we think that dream is going to occur or how the process is going to look on our path to get to that dream. But the end goal is always going to be the same as long as you envision it. So if you spend every day visualizing one really big dream that you have, and it can be a small dream, could be a medium-sized dream, could be a big dream, whatever it is, what you want to do is find a time once a day to actually sit down and visualize this. And I'm going to put this into a guided journaling exercise also. So you find a quiet space in your house and you sit down without any distractions and you imagine that you are living your dream out. So you're actually going to like daydream only on purpose, okay? So you imagine what that dream looks like. You sit in it. You feel what it feels like to be in that dream of yours. You can smell the smells around you. You can see, you can hear. Use all of your senses. You're going to sit down and you're going to make this intention. And here is the biggest message out of this. When you set an intention to do something, you aren't just hoping that it's going to happen, because that's a whole entire different energy. You are actually going to be saying that it already has happened. And this is the definition of what manifesting is. Manifesting and setting an intention is knowing. It's already knowing it's going to be. Now, for me, I can tell you that this envisioning exercise, this is not an easy thing to do, especially if you're someone like me who still has self-doubts. But I have found when I do this exercise, the more and more I do it, the more and more I believe it. And hope is a great idea, but hope does not serve us when we are ready to bust out of our comfort zones and our comfortable little box and ready to bust out of that into something amazing. Hope just says that it could, but knowing means that it will happen. And that is the energy that you want to live in during your visualizations. Now, my friends, the other thing that's tough with this is when the universe throws challenges at you for dreaming big like this, it's very easy oftentimes to just say, you know what, this isn't working. I just have to give up. And, sometimes giving up is just one roadblock in the pathway that you are going down. And it's tough because you might want it to happen right now. And I'm here to tell you today that it is a process, but visualizing allows you to just melt that roadblock away. To be able to say, I might feel like giving up, but if what you love and what you are dreaming of resonates with you, if you can feel yourself being there and doing that deep down into your soul, don't give up. Because the sun is going to rise on another day and you will try again and you will probably fail again, but then you will get up and you will be able to try and succeed. You will succeed. And the final thing I want to talk to you today is about after you have melted away the idea of hoping something will happen and you are starting to internalize and believe that something is going to happen or has happened already, you, even with challenges in front of you, you're basically holding yourself accountable to that dream every single time you sit down and visualize it. So think about that. We always say that we should have an accountability partner, right? We say we're going to go to the gym and we're going to work out. So we need to have an accountability partner. Well, what if your accountability partner is your visualization? What if by setting your intention and doing your visualization every single day is your way of holding yourself fully accountable for the dream that you will create for yourself? Because let's face it, dreaming big is about you. It is about taking the time to reflect inward to find what brings you joy. And if it's something that you're doing already, then that's amazing. You can even dream bigger. But if you feel like there's something in your life that's missing, or there is a dream that's kind of sitting in the back of your mind that you've always wanted to do, but never felt like it could happen, it can. Dreaming big means you will be big. And of all things that we are meant to do here in our lifetime, it's to find the joy within our hearts, our minds, and our souls so that we can live authentically and we can be a light for ourselves and for others, and to spiritually grow. And we can't truly spiritually grow if we aren't finding the love and the joy in our lives. So this week, see if you can carve out some time every day to do this visualization. And maybe you don't even have a clear understanding of what a dream is that you have. So maybe you can first even think about, what's a big dream that I've always wanted? And I will make sure to have that in a guided journaling exercise for you. On our website, www.thebutterflyconnection.com. That's connection spelled Kinection. I would also love to hear from you on our Facebook page and group. I'll be adding some quotes from today's podcast. I'll be adding some of my own quotes. And you can check out my website, www.spiritualinsightsbysara.com. And that's Sara spelled without the H. I have a blog that I write on over there. And I also offer services of my own, such as email intuitive readings, online intuitive readings, and in-person intuitive readings. And you can find out lots more info about what I do over on my website. Thank you so much for listening today. I hope you are starting to dream big about all the possibilities. And I hope you find your way back to us next week for another awesome, soul-reflecting podcast. from the Butterfly Connection. Thank you. Many blessings.
Thank you for listening to The Butterfly Connection with Molly Rahe-Randall and Sara Courtney.
Check out our website at thebutterflyconnection.com and download our free weekly guided journaling exercises.
We would love to hear from you. Subscribe to our podcast and give us a review. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Pinterest.
And join us next week for another soul-connecting conversation.